Well, hello and welcome to another Sunday Sci-Fi show. I thought today we haven't covered cartoon series, have we? From the 80s. We haven't covered a lot of cartoon series, and I thought we'd talk about Thundercats, He-Man, Galaxy Rangers, Jason the Wheel Warriors, and some other stuff. So I don't know what's been happening with everybody. I hope you're all right, and. How do you say it? Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, that's enough about me. I went for a walk this morning to sort of burn that edge off. Uh, did some exercises in the park. Was in there for an hour, and that's it. But I've started watching. I don't know. I've been watching Galaxy Rangers. I'm actually tempted to go out and buy the whole series. Actually, for me. I think it's the. For me, I'd say that's like the favourite cartoon from 80s. I like Jason the Wheeled Warriors. It was sort of interesting with brain mines and that big vegetable thing. But that never got cancelled, didn't it? I think a cartoon series that has to reach 65 episodes to make it marketable. I never really watched G.I. Joe, sort of floated in and out, with G.I. Joe, which was sort of interesting. But I have seen the cartoon movies. I did watch GI Joe Retaliation the other day because that was shit. Hello, Samuel. How are you? Yeah, we're talking about cartoon series. Have you got any suggestions? I'm just going back over the older ones, going back many many years ago. I'm tempted to buy Galaxy Rangers. Actually, I don't know why. I just got this urge to go out and buy the Galaxy Rangers. I just think it's a marvelous cartoon series. Right, let's get technical for a slight second. Right, let's get that set up on. There we go. So that's it. That's that done. So Samuel, how are you? And how have you been keeping? I should really advertise these shows. I forgot actually. I bought a new big coffee table. I've just took it out of the box. It's all I've done today. I haven't really done anything. Hello, Jane. How are you? It's good to hear from you. I hope you're safe. What have you been up to? You know, I need to get my hair cut. I've got this like mop. I know I'm bald, but I need to get it shaved off. Samuel, the original Clone Wars. Yeah, I've got to admit, Clone Wars is probably the best cartoon series on the TV at the moment. I do. I really do think Clone Wars is damn. It's good, isn't it? It's rumours that we might be getting another series as well. I've been building the episodes up on Disney Plus for season 7. I've not really seen first 3. I know we're going to go into Order 66, aren't we, with this, which is going to be interesting. I'd like to see like the early days of Darth Vader. You know, when he's going out with his clone troopers, eradicating Jedi, like a whole series of him going out, killing Jedi and the Emperor. I mean, the original Clone Wars is exceptional. I'm no expert in the old cartoon. Well, and E-Man's good. I mean, E-Man were all right. We're a bit cheesy, Enron that gave you a lecture. The trouble is with 80s stuff. I mean, you got these awesome characters, then you got this like cheesy fucking character, and it were like the cute thing. Which were quite annoying. And Mask, I've seen Mask. I've watched a couple on YouTube. It was quite interesting. Mask, Bionic 6 and Silverhawks. Samuel, I've just been watching the Tomb of the Cyber. I agree, perfection. True. I'm going to say it. True, Doctor Who. Jen. Thank you, Jen. That's very nice. I love your video. Life in lockdown, going for a walk in the park. Yeah, I do that every morning, Jen. I go in there to exercise and do stuff. I've got fibro, so I have to strengthen my leg muscles all the time. So I can't go to the gym. It's closed down. They're not even taking money out of my bank account, so I can't go back to the gym, so I have to make do. I'm doing this form of aerobics on a morning on YouTube, and then I go in the park. It's all I can do. But yeah, I mean, I was in the park. There was quite a few people in there. Normally through the week when I go in, there ain't a lot of people in there. Yes, Tomb of the Cybermen. It's to me. It is too Doctor Who. I've been watching the Sylvester McCoy. The one from Amazon, the special edition set of his series. I've been sort of watching that. So I've got all them. Sam. Them. The re-editions on Blu-ray of the classics. Favorite ones definitely the Tom Baker set with the Genesis of the Daleks and the John Pertwee. I watched The Green Death actually a couple of weeks ago. Really enjoyed that. I've got to watch The Colony in Space. I'm saving that because I think that's the last one in the box set. The Colony in Space with the Master and the Daleks. I think the Falls are in that, aren't they? Because they go to that planet where there's them like aliens that can make themselves invisible, put them fur rugs on, they become invisible, which is sort of interesting. I love the Pertwee years and the Baker years. I mean, rest of it I can sort of leave it. I love Troughton. The best Troughton episodes for me is War Games. I'd love them to colour, like put War Games into colour. That'd be something awesome. Put it into colour. I love Genesis. I don't, and you might not agree with me. I think they should have left Davros there. I think Davros should have. That's the only time they should have ever brought Davros into it, the creator, and left it at that. Because they really did ruin Davros over the years. Hello, Chelsea. How are you? The costume in Genesis of the Daleks is chef's kiss, definitely. So, Jane, where is Coquelin? I don't know. He'll float on. We did the podcast together this week, but he will pop up. Hello, just some guy. How are you? Hey up, our kid. What part of the north are you from, just some guy? You keep coming out with northern expressions. Our lass and our kid, So how are you, everybody? How have you been coping with the lockdown? I mean, there's only so much. I don't know. I watched G.I. Joe Retaliation yesterday, and it was absolute wank. It was complete, total, utter wank. But Cobra Commander did look good. It did look good. I will have to say that. But it would. I don't mind first one. Yeah, from Manchester, good man. I'm from Leeds. So we've got. And actually, where is everybody from then? So Samuel, where are you based? Are you based in UK? Jane, you're in Canada, aren't you? I'm in London. I live in West London. So, it's quite interesting. Normally, it's a very busy area, but it's like a ghost town now. It's like buses. Nobody's on them. They're not charging. Are they charging? Just some guy. Are they charging for the buses up north now? All the buses there, you're not paying because we've got two doors on the buses. I know up north, like in Leeds, they've got one door. Don't ask. But it's you're not allowed up front of the bus because of the bus drive. It's all sealed off, so you got to sit at the back of the bus. It's pretty weird. God, I wonder when this is going to end. No, I've heard the pubs aren't going to be open till Christmas, but like coffee shops and that are going to be open. I think it'd be like coffee shops will be open first before pubs. I think they'll open up before the pubs. Because I think if everybody's going to be plastered in pubs, they're not going to be able to control it, are they? The social distancing. Or they might just let so many people come in. About Davros, Samuel. Hang on. Just some guy. Do you know what I started watching? Got episode 7 and gave up. What did it Picard? I bet it starts at Picard, didn't it? Samuel, about Davros, he had great ones. Genesis, The Remember, The Stolen of End, and Magician's Apprentice. The others are not great. I feel like he should be a one-off very occasionally. Yeah, I find that there ain't much scope for Davros, is there? There's not a lot of scope for him at all. Davros. They just don't seem to be. I don't know. If you buy the Davros DVD box set, which I do recommend, I picked it up in CEX. They only made so many of them as well, so it's quite interesting. But they've got there's about 4 to 5 audio stories from Big Finish. It comes with the DVD set with Davros, and it goes into pre-Davros during the Fall Khalid War, and they had space stations in orbit and stuff. Quite interesting, and you're getting like young Davros when he's like the great scientist before all radiation screwed him up. I'm Samuel Pass. Oh, cool. Yep. I live in London, even though I'm from up north. Chelsea, I'm in Brooklyn. Everyone's entering the bus. Hang on. Chelsea, everyone's entering the bus from the rear and no one's paying. Yeah, that's what they're doing here. It's what they're doing here. Yeah. God, we live in strange time. Where's the fucking zombies? Like, that film with Simon Pegg. Wasn't it like that? You know. Instead, we all get sit home, watch Netflix, cracking up because we can't go out. Just some guy. I'm not sure about the buses, but no, my look, they'll still charge us, cheeky bastard. They probably will. It's up north, mate. uh, Samuel, I think they used Davros very creatively in Stolen Earth Journey's End. Jade, Manchester United or Manchester City? Neither. Leeds. Leeds United. When I lived in Leeds, I used to support them, but I'm not bothered about football anymore. Sort of lost interest years ago. But I suppose I'd support my home team. Chelsea, they need to let Davros be for quite a few seasons. There's so many other classic who Gallifreyans to bring back. The Rani, definitely want the Rani back. I want the Celestial Toymaker back. I'd like to see Sutek. I know I keep saying this, but I'd like Sutek to make a return. I'd like to know more about the Osiran race. I'd like Madame Vastra to return and Strax. I really wanted the 3 of them to get a TV series. They fucked that up. We never got it. I'd love to see Khan take over Gallifrey. The Sisterhood of Khan are Time Lords. They are. That's official. The Sisterhood of Khan are Time Lords, yeah. They used to dominate Gallifrey before the time of the Awakening. It was all like magical, and they still sort of ran the whole the so-called mysterious third one who sort of changed everything on Gallifrey, which was sort of interesting. Yes, Vastra and Strax. Samuels, I'm hoping Omega is behind the entire thing and the Doctor isn't the TC. Yeah, well, yeah. But it's, I don't know. I'm a big fan of Sisterhood of Khan. It'd be good to turn them into bodies, actually. I'd like to see Morbius come back. Somehow he gets a new body or something. Or they take him out of time. I love the brain of Morbius. It scared me that as a kid. Yeah, I remember watching it anyway on the Sunday, and it used to terrify me. Because he was that brain and that voice. You remember that shouting and bawling, and that dude trying to build him a body, But sure, I mean, they must have took his regeneration capabilities away. Because he was just the brain in the end, wasn't he? But I'm sure that Morbius would have been great because he was like this insane Time Lord that could conquer the universe, wasn't it? Yes. Yes. So it's definitely, this a lot there going on. Screen's gone off. Internet. All right. Yeah, there's a lot of people online, so forgive me if it sort of bums out. You know, when I sort of study out for the show, it did. There will people use the internet to the maximum capacity, which I suppose we all are, aren't we? We got another thing. Right. Chelsea. Love, ignore that, but yes, I want to see the pendulum swing, the lottery accurate surfing motor explain, please, Chelsea. Samuel Parsons. I watched the Terror of the Igons the other day. Tip top. Yeah, I like the Zygons. Well, I did like the Zygons. I'm not. They made them a bit cheesy now, aren't they, the Zygons? I think in the Tom Baker one, they were quite frightening, weren't they? But they sort of lost their impact, haven't they now, Zygons? Just some guy, yeah, keep pausing our kids like listening to Norman Collier. Oh God, Norman bloody Collier. Uh, Jane, Martin, my friend from UK, told me the players of Tottenham Hotspur sung a song in the late 70s. I don't know, Jane. I do not know anything about Tottenham Hotspur culture. But you'll have to Google that. You know, so I'm sorry. I think there was a couple of Leeds United songs. I think there's some Manchester United songs actually. You know, like when they go to FA Cup, the sort of like the team releases a sort of records. You know. Oh, back. Oh, any other villains you'd like to see? I mean, yeah, you can choose from any scope from Doctor Who. The War Chief would be a good one. Do you remember Patrick Troughton's final with War Chief? He was the Time Lord, wasn't he? And they got him. I'd like to. I know he came back in the Virgin books, but I would like to see him come back. Be an interesting one. He was like a Time Lord dedicated purely to war, which would have sort of been very interesting. You know. What's this to say, man? Hang on, I'm just checking Facebook. Just had a message. Right, let's go back to the Sunday Sci-Fi show. So, right, hang on. Oh, yeah, it's Devils. Yeah, I'd like to see Sea Devils make a comeback. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, we've had Silurians, haven't we? I'd like to see Sea Devils, but I mean, what's the situation with them? I mean, there's colonies of them all over Earth, and they haven't woke up. So, I mean, there's something surely is gonna happen with them. You know, the doctor never went back to that, did he? You know, Matt Smith. I did enjoy the episodes with Matt. I did enjoy episodes. No, which was sort of interesting. But they were. I mean, although we got Doctor goes back in time to the time of the Sea Devils and the Silurians, right? And he's there when the moon comes into orbit. He's there when the moon comes into orbit, right? And he's the one that puts them all into sustained animation. Oh, she does. Now that'd be real. That would be really good. You know. So I think that'd be good. It sort of makes sense, wouldn't it, really? But yeah, again, yeah, I would no, it won't. I know the Sea Devil first appeared in the Pertwee years, didn't they? So it could be a future incarnation of Doctor. It goes back in time and creates the suspended. He saves the whole race. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but then the future Doctor would know about the future conflict between humanity and the Sea Devils, Silurians. I'll tell you what would be good though. What would be good is that I would like to see Omega come back. I want a Time Lord villain. I want some really dodgy, evil Time Lord. It's a manipulator. later who's got his agenda, like the Valyard. Now, the Valyard will be spectacular. It's time to bring him back because they should have really. He was like the 12th regeneration Doctor, wasn't he? So where is he? Unless that's he's from like another timeline. I don't know. Samuel Pat, Sea Devils must return. I agree. Jane, Martin, you could tell me. All right. Just some guidelines. Say continuation in addition to Star Trek Continue. You would. I'd love to see that again. Star Trek Continue is the masterpiece. It is. It is. I keep watching. I keep jumping back into answer that. To me, that finished the 5-year mission off. Jane, the scary villain from Doctor Who. Oh yeah, the Weeping Angels. I think it'd be good if they altered the Weeping Angels origin into something like they could be like Time Lords when they die. When they finally come to end it, it's like the bodies of something. There's some connection between Weeping Angels and the Time Lords, which I think would be very good. I really do. Just some guy before forget starting watching a betting service last night. God, oh yeah, is that about the plane? Yeah, I started on that. I've started on that. Yeah, yeah. I'm just coming to end of season 1 now. Yeah, I've started. I've caught a few random episodes of that. It's sort of interesting about the Black Lightning and all this, because there's no special effect. They're just going to get that turbulence, and then they'll land 5 years later, don't they? Which is sort of interesting. But into that, there's some sort of conspiracy. There's some dodgy corporation that were doing some experiments. And there's her, she's getting like visions. She hears voices in her head, doesn't she, about future. In first episode, she tells that bus driver to slow down and let them dogs out of that building yard. And there's them 2 kidnapped girls there. Yeah, it's sort of all right. That I started to get a bit bored with it, but it did start to pick up, and I am fascinated where it's all going to go now. And there is a 3rd season, so there is hope there. Do you know what I mean? Just some guy and 3 episode in of season 1 was recommended. Yeah, I'm about 5 to 6 episodes in. Sorry about the corporation, but there's always a dodgy corporation, isn't there? Or some Black Ops thing. But yeah, it never explains it. I mean, there's no special effects, no time warp. They just land 5 years later. And that's what I really like. That's what appealed to me about that series. There's a series called Manifest. It's worth taking a look at. It started last year. The 2nd season come out. I think it was last year. 2nd season and third's out this year. But I do recommend that with this season, basically, some passengers are flying from somewhere to New York, and they're on this plane, and there's a bit of turbulence for a couple of minutes, but when they land, it's 5 years later. It's 5 years later, and there's big investigation. Somebody blows the plane up at the end of episode 1, so they can't find any evidence. But it's twists and turns. I'm about 5 episodes in it. It's sort of interesting, but knowing how they'll probably cancel it after the 3rd season. Did anybody ever start watching that one called Colony? God, that was terrible. That got cancelled last year. Sure, right, let's catch up. Just some guy, before I get started watching, just some guy, 3 episodes in season 1 was recommended from a neighbour. Just some guy, I knew it'd be some not Elon Musk, the super villain of our time with his satellites in orbit. Yeah. Just some guy, Elon Musk. Just some guy. Manifest season 3 has not been confirmed by NBC, but its cast and crew have talked extensively. I've heard, going to season 3. It's been quite a big hit, but fair enough. Well, with this situation, what's going on now, it will probably not happen. So we're left in the air on that. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember that series years ago, Peter Weller, Odyssey 5? I did do a review on Odyssey 5 on the DVD. Odyssey 5 was spectacular. About the space shuttle and the Earth got vaporized, and they all got sent back 5 years in time to undo the event that destroyed the planet. And and then they start coming into this big alien conspiracy that certain forces trying to oppose each other. And this silicon-based life form annihilates organic life. And the Seeker. And well, the guy who wrote it, Manikoto, created it. He said it were all set out, but he won't reveal answers because he believes he can get it back on the TV at some point. But I would like to have known where that would have gone. I do recommend Odyssey 5, but it is cancelled after one season. Right. Episodes. Just some guy. I've been over some Elon Musk behind it. Just some guy. Manifest says, Jane, I like the villains from Spared. Oh, the Autons. I love them. And the nesting consciousness. Yeah, I like the Autons. I think they're great. I do. And I think we got a lot more with them, didn't we? We got a lot more with the Autons and the nestings, didn't we? With Doctor Who. And when Christopher Eccleston, I thought it were quite a nice tribute to John Pertwee to when Doctor Who started to bring them as the first sort of villain into it. And you do over series, you do meet some sort of decent ones, don't you? That aren't evil, you know. Do you remember like Rory when he was like the legendary Roman soldier that walked through time? You know. Right. Where's this? Ah, there we go. Right. But yeah, I love Spearhead from Space. I did get that on Blu-ray actually. I was very happy with the Blu-ray copy of that. You know, Spearhead from Space. I might give that a look tonight actually. Spearhead from Space. I think it's going to be a Doctor Who night on Blu-ray tonight. I think it's one of them nights. It's definitely Doctor Who. Jane, I like, yeah, the first episode of Doctor Who from 2005. God, was it 2005? That's going back. That is going back a long way. 2005 years. So, really? Is that? I thought Exton were before 2005. But fair enough. I thought it was 2000. Oh, we'll have to check that. 2005. Hey, we've had I think Doctor Who had a bloody good run, though. You know? The golden years. The golden years, David Tennant. You know? Definitely David Tennant. I like the Bill and Spur. Yeah, the first ever Doctor Who from 2005. Yeah. You know, it's. I mean, I love the Tennant years. And like I say, I suppose the best villains that have come out of Doctor Who have been the Weeping Angels that have got that. If you're going to give like a factor of baddiness to Doctor Who, it's definitely the Weeping Angels are up there with the classics. You know what I mean? I like the villains from Space and Space. Yeah, the first episode of Doctor Who from 2005. Your thoughts on the villain in the Daemons? Oh, yes, classic. Down in that town, the village. Yeah, where the Master wants, where that Doctor Who and the Daemons, where it's asleep, and the Master wants its last of its race, and the Master wants its power. And it's all to do with like psychic. It sort of explains that witchcraft is like a form of science, but on a psychic level. Love all that, which was very good. You know, I might even dig it out. Doctor and the Demons is awesome, and again because of that, you get the Unit family in that era. You know, which I just love Unit. I really do. I never thought they've done Unit justice. You know, they've never really done Unit justice at all. I'd like a Unit television series to sort of appear. I mean, to get a Unit TV series would be incredible. Would you not agree? I well, like Torchwood, when they started killing everybody off in Torchwood season 2, and they shouldn't have done that. That's when I knew they were getting rid of it. Seriously, talk because I remember when Torchwood season 2 started, and I remember adverts for it. I remember that trailer. There was that clip of that fish alien thing from another dimension in a car, and that granny said, "Bloody Torchwood." I loved all that. And what they did with it, they started killing them all off, didn't they? Because the first season is pretty spectacular, isn't it? Where Captain Jack turns his immortality against the omnipotent monster thing that's walking around Wales, and sort of turns it back on itself. I mean, talks were built up to an incredibly powerful final episode, but season 2 was just a waste of time. I did like season 3 though, which I thought was quite good. The Children of Earth. There was something scary about that with that alien thing when they connected them speakers up. It was speaking through it, which were really terrifying. It was something about that, but I didn't like the fourth season. I just thought that were awful. The 10-parter done by Stars. It should have stayed in house at BBC. And they should have, I think Torchwood could have gone 4 or 5 seasons, and established its own identity. But they killed them all off, didn't they? Yanso and all that. There were only Evie Miles that survived in Captain Jack, weren't there? And I like that. I loved the hub, the hub what Torchwood had. I was there a couple of years ago, stood on the step waiting to go down, but nothing happened. Just some guy. They should do an episode where they go back to the few late 70s, early 80s and blend an old episode with it, and we'll see all cast members a bit like in Back to the Future 2. That'd be interesting. Or like Deep Space Nine. You remember Tracy Trial and Tribulations when they went back in time? That'd be really cool. You get this modern Doctor goes back in time and could meet up with Pertwee or Baker and Unit and have her running about. Because did it on Deep Space Nine back in the 90s, didn't they? They did it back in the 90s on Deep Space Nine, which was sort of interesting, I think yeah, I like that. I think, you could go back to Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy. I mean, you could go back to a certain villain. I mean, the story would have to be that you get one of the Doctor's older enemies, and somehow goes back in time. The Doctor goes back to undo everything what this villain is doing. I know it'd be a complete rip-off of Trial and Tribulations, but that would be brilliant. I think that'd work, But what you could do is what about like the Doctor? I mean, how far are we off from 60th anniversary of Doctor Who now? We're only a couple of years away from 60th, and that'd be awesome to do that because they could do it with today's technology. I like that concept. That'd be, but it's got me sort of thinking quite a lot what you could do with that. But they sort of did it, didn't they? They sort of did it with Clara Oswald when she went back. You remember when she stood into the Doctor's life timeline thing? They sort of did it then, went First Doctor, but it wasn't like where she was like stood next to them and all that. It wasn't like what they did on Deep Space Nine. I think Trial and Tribulations is one of the best Star Trek episodes ever put together. It's sheer genius what they did with that. Just some guy, oh God, yeah, DS9. They had Chief O'Brien meet Kirkor at the prize where they found the Defiant, and it was like the original Enterprise. Do you remember that scene where they had that fight in the bar? And Klingons walked in, and Bashir said, him and O'Brien said to Worf, "Can you explain that?" He said, "We don't like to talk about it." He said, "Well, why are they all different?" He said, "We don't like to talk about it. It's personal." They didn't have an answer, did they, at the time? They didn't have an answer, did they? Do you know what I mean? And then Enterprise, I thought Enterprise nailed that beautifully. You know, Enterprise, they just nailed it totally, utterly beautifully. Uh, just some guy, sorry, Jen, the Green Death episode is also amazing. Yeah, it's, you know, the Green Death is an environmental episode which tells the truth. It does. The Green Death is a superb episode, and it's way beyond its time. You know, I felt sorry for him at end up, personally. And you know when he drove off, you know when he drove off in his car at the end, and there were no music. It was quite sad, wasn't it, at the end? You know, when he just drove off and that night going back to unit headquarters. But don't worry, he got Sarah Jane. We all love Sarah Jane. I quite like the Sarah Jane adventures. I thought they were really good, you know. Hang on. Uh, just some guy. Did you like the drama they did about Anton a few years back? The actor play. Yes, I did. I thought that was quite good. Yeah, when it went into I thought it was quite good. Is that on YouTube? Because I wouldn't mind seeing that again, unless I've got to go on iPlayer to watch it. I really do avoid BBC, mate. I only go onto it if I have to. You know, I don't really watch a lot. I had to sort of go into watch terrestrial television with Red Dwarf, and I have seen it since, and I have to say, watching Red Dwarf a second time, it was slightly better than the first time, but I watched it without adverts. But they did ram some adverts in that, you know. Did you like the docudrama? Yes, I did. The clown in Sarah Jane Adventure. Oh yeah, that was. Actually, I'm surprised that got on. Actually, you know, because it were on kids shows. That wasn't it? I was surprised they managed to get that on. It's going to be interesting to see where next series goes. I mean, next episode's New Year's Day, isn't it? The revolution of the Daleks. I'd like him to do something different with Daleks now. You know, I really would like him to take a bit of a risk. You know, like something with the mentality and the culture that add a bit more to them. There's Daleks like Rusty, and like they don't reveal themselves. They've got compassion. You know, uh, it's. I really would like to see this other culture of Daleks. I want a bit more. I love Daleks, but I want a bit more with them. Chelsea, I downloaded. Oh God, yeah. Have you watched it? I watched 20 minutes of that. Yeah, Cats. Have you? Oh God. Download. I just saw the first 10-minute Cats. All right, are you on about Red Dwarf? All right, I thought you said about fucking film Cats. That would offer. It would all right. But luckily it's not the final one, which I were happy I didn't finish on that. But I watched it a second time, and it was a bit better. It was sort of all that. I just feel that they're a bit past it now. They're very comfortable, and when they're running off about Lister being a slob and all that, it's getting a bit boring. You know what I mean? Yeah, but a mate of mine did say to me, he said, we were on about Dave Lister psychologically. Do you know, I think we all know a Dave Lister somewhere, don't we? I think we do. I think I know a couple of Dave Listers out there. I've been serious. I know one or two Dave Listers. I'm not including myself. I am not Dave Lister. You know what I mean? That some people don't change. They're comfortable in what they're doing and they're happy. I'm not knocking for that, but there is some Dave Listers out there, you know. So I sort of yes, there is. If you go at Red Dwarf from that perspective, you can sort of relate to it, not to the Dave Lister, right? Just some guy. Dalek should now be AI and blended with Saturn and alternate. That'd be good. That's what I mean. I'd like to see a lot more with Daleks. There's this like other Daleks. Be society oppressive, you know, like these Daleks going around exterminating. I mean, all the fucking do is exterminate. Points. Jay, thoughts on that whole episode? What from what I remember, sort of, or the oldest teenage man-slobbing comedy. It's just how we all, somewhere in our life, we've all met a Dave Lister, Chelsea Rude. You know, there is, from an ecological point of view, there is a Dave Lister out there. I mean, I know one or two even now. You know, they're just the lovely people, but they're comfortable, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, but it's I did wonder, am I a Dave Lister? Yeah, but I don't drink though. So, well, I drink now and again, but it's only now and again. I'm not much of a drinker these days. I'm absolutely terrible with hangovers. Martin, your live stream has echo. I cannot do anything about that. It's the internet connection. It's because everybody is on the internet, and there's a damn thing I can do about it. So sorry, I apologise for that. Just some guy, Martin, your live stream has echo. Right. Just some guy. It could even condense the master's consciousness into a. Oh, that'd be good. Well, don't you remember when the Daleks executed the master in the Doctor Who movie? You know, what about giving Davros a body? A Time Lord body? No, that's interesting. You know, because Martin Saluter's Rimmer. There you go, Jen. I've just done it now. Saluters. I am not a Rimmer, Jane. I am not a Rimmer. Dave Lister, the oldest teenage man slobbing. I like Dave Lister, but we all know a Dave Lister. Come on, we do. We do. There you go, Jen. I've done too. My mouth. I need water. You know, that were bad. Oh, right, Joe. Oh, just lost my cigarette in ashtray. Well, fair enough. Please. Right, so where were we at? Oh, Dave Lister being a man slob. Who else fancied her? I fancied her. Yeah, I fancied, yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah. I fancied, yeah, and I'm not even going to say it's a poll. Yeah, good God. I fancied T'Pol. The best of the Star Trek, babe, 7 of 9 for me. I remember when I first saw her in Voyager, it were like that, you know. She could only wear that blue suit twice, couldn't she? Because it took them hours to put her into it, and that it was right painful or something. That's why they had to take it off. It did her back in, apparently. You know, that blue suit, it was that tight, and it really restricted her movements, didn't it? But it did get the impact they wanted. You know, I mean, she didn't like her, Kate Mulgrew. They didn't get on, did they, for quite a while? Because, the audience were going down. But Voyager did do one thing. A lot of my female friends at the time, they didn't really watch Star Trek. I mean, they floated into it. But when she came captain of Voyager, a lot of my female friends, even my partner at the time, she became obsessed with Voyager, you know, because it's a strong female character, which is great. And I love Captain Janeway. I think she's great. And I hope they do a Janeway series. But I think they should put it with 7 of 9. I think they should put them both together because they had like a mother-daughter relationship, which I really did like that. You know, because 7 looks at her as like this mother character, and I thought that were great. But I do like Kate McGrew. I met her in Blackpool in '90s at VoyagerCon. She was marvellous. Really nice person. She used to be Mrs. Columbo, didn't she? She used to be Mrs. Columbo, so that was interesting. Oh, well, fancy it. Oh, yeah, in a Mirror Darkly. Got the best episodes of Enterprise was in Mirror Darkly. Absolutely superb. Uh, Martin, your live stream has echo. Has it still got echo? Echo, echo. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm running out of things to watch. Has anybody seen Watchmen? I think it's. I had it on Now TV. I think it's gone now. But I'm gonna watch. I don't know. I've got so much to watch. I watched Quantum Leap today. The Evil Leaper episodes. I bought Quantum Leap on Blu-ray. I am gonna do a review. It came last week. I started watching Evil Leaper episodes this afternoon when I got in, which were interesting. I love Quantum Leap. It's such a nice program. It just keeps it simple, doesn't it? Quantum Leap, a ingenious idea how they do it. Sam Beckett and Admiral Al. In a Mirror Dark, yes. Well, yeah. Look at Paul when she had the '60s Star Trek uniform on. Just some guy. Yeah, 7 in January, the mother daughter parent teacher relationship, telling her off dishing out money. Yeah. Yeah, do you remember that when Harry Kim couldn't keep his eyes off her? And she said, "I can see that your pheromones have risen and your eyes have contracted." And he were like, "No, no, no," because he fancied her, didn't he? And she were like quite logical about everything. Just some guy. I'm running out of things to watch. I'm like manifest the only further. Well, that's it. I mean, I've got Disney Plus. I've got Now TV. Well, actually, I didn't pay for Now TV. What at Christmas I bought this. If they're still doing it, you can get them from Argos for 29 quid. You can buy a Now TV stick, and you get everything on Now TV free for 6 months. And then mine runs out in June, so I'll probably cancel it in June. I've got Disney, I've got Amazon, Netflix, and Disney Plus. So I sort of bounce around between all them at the moment. I'm not. I looked on Netflix last night. Was that? Well, I don't know what to watch, to be honest. I'm into Disney Plus. I've been watching the Avengers cartoon, which I've really enjoyed. And I'm going to start on the Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon at some point. But it's nice just to be able to access a Marvel movie when I need it. But I like the National Geographic channel's really good on Disney Channel. It makes it interesting. Hang on, I'm running out of things to what. Jade, did you like Tom Bacon as a... Yes. That's what made him famous, Jade. That he got Doctor Who not long after that. Yeah, my dad took me to cinema to see that. The Golden Voyage of Sinbad. He took me to see the one. Do you remember her had a photo of her? She could change into stuff, and she ended something went wrong, and she had a big duck foot. Do you remember her? And that metal robot slave she had, it sort of like moved the ship. He was like that with ship, like when they were chasing Sinbad across. And Patrick Troughton were in that as what was it, Malpheus, the scientist, brilliant. Absolutely, yeah. God, Sinbad. He played in Sinbad. Father from Lost in Space. He played in Sinbad. Did you like Tom Baker as the villain in the Golden? Yes. Are you still following the Flash season? I'm on season 5, but I have caught up with Legends of Tomorrow, the new season, which I'm a big fan of. I love Legends. It's crazy. There's a Star Trek episode of Legends of Tomorrow where they're all dressed up and the ships run like the Enterprise. I think that's on next week. There's been an advert for it. But I have caught up with Legends. I'm up to date with Supergirl, but I'm getting a bit pissed with that. I wasn't impressed with the Infinite Crisis. I don't know if you've seen any of that. The Infinite Crisis, 5-parter. It's based on a comic. It was all right, but it was too cheap and nasty. If you're going to do that, you need a movie budget. I saw like the first two episodes of Infinite Crisis, and then it turned a bit shit after that. But they're trying, and I thought it was quite good. I do like the concepts of the parallel universes, and I like what DC's done. That they've tied every TV series ever made in DC universe together, from 1970s Wonder Woman to 60s Batman to Superman 70s. Which I think they did a marvelous job of. Well, Jane Seymour had her body in that. Oh, yeah, she was in James Bond as well, wasn't she? As Live and Let Die was the first James Bond film I ever saw at the cinema. And I've got to say, it's my favourite Bond movie, Live and Let Die. I thought it was brilliant. Jane, Marty, watch Herbie movies on Disney Plus. Do you know, Jane, I might say I would see Herbie at cinema when I was a kid. I'm surprised they haven't brought Herbie back. Just from getting Infant Crisis, they basically wipes everyone apart from survives that blend to that reality. Well, I think there is some other parallel universes that survived, I think, because the end, they showed like these other things, didn't they? You should read the graphic novel from the 80s. If you go to Comics Explained, he covered it out, the whole story. I mean, the actual story is in the comic form is incredible. I've got the graphic novel. It's mind-blowing, the scope of it. But you can't do that on a TV budget. It'd be a free movie trilogy if they did that to what it should be. The actual scale of it. Marvel pulled off Infinity Crisis, even though it was slightly different to the graphic novel, the Infinity Gauntlet. But they did it right, and it took several movies to put it on that scale. Tom Baker, who played Sherlock Holmes. Do you remember Tom Baker as that mad vicar in the She-Devil? Do you remember that? When he was that pervy vicar and she was whipping him. Do you remember Tom Baker? He was all tied up. She-Devil. Life and Loves of a She-Devil. Do you remember that? Good God, She-Devil. Tom Baker was like this sex mad vicar. I said to remember it. Where she got him tied up and she's hitting him with this brush. Brilliant. Tom Baker, classic. He did, and Tom Baker he was a perfect Sherlock Holmes, and the talents of Wen Xiang, that was a fantastic episode. Do you remember that little fucking creepy doll that were going around killing people? Jane also played Jane. Midnight Gospel on Netflix is great. Right, might have to check that out. I will go with your recommendation there, Chelsea. Just some guy, Seymour Solitaire and Yaphet Kotto said to Roger Moore, did you touch it and nearly got it? Yeah, he did. He did, because she could predict the future, couldn't she? John Pertwee, he does play Alfred in Gotham. I think he would have made a great Doctor Who. Sean Pertwee. I'd like to see him get it, actually. I just think he'd be awesome as the Doctor. He were good in Dog Soldiers. Have you seen Dog Soldiers? Set up with SAS and werewolves. Brilliant film. Absolutely awesome movie. But he's great. He's great as Alfred. I'm on season 4 of Gotham. I sort of floated in and out. There's a lot of episodes to get through, but I sort of watch a few every now and again. I do like the dude that plays the Penguin. I have seen the final episode when he becomes Batman, because I didn't know if I wanted to sit through another 40 episodes of it, Tom Baker played a good part in the Vault of Horror. He did. I remember that. But does anybody remember the Life and Loves of a She-Devil? Does anybody remember that? Then they made an American version as well, which were with Roseanne. She played it. I think that was a film at cinema, but it flopped. Yeah, he is a great movie. Do you know it freaked me out? Do you remember him when all his stomach's hanging out, Jay? And that dog's eating his intestines. The dog won't let go of it. God, that's freaky. It really gives me creeps, that scene, in that film. But I do love Dog Soldiers. I loved it when they were going through forest and they've got tracers on the bullets and they're all firing into forest at night time. And werewolves are all on loose, Brilliant film. Uh, the Shader. Did that star Jenny Seagrove from Woman of Substance? No. I've seen Woman of Substance years ago. My family watched it. You're thinking Jenny Seagrove were in that horror movie where she were a druid priestess, the Guardian, and she worshipped that tree, and she were trying to she get a job as a nanny and steal the children and sacrifice them to this tree at bottom of garden. But she were like, I hadn't seen it in years. The Guardian. Don't they? Actually, it's quite good. It was quite good with that with Jenny Seagrove. Really weird movie. I watched The Lair of the White Worm the other week with Amanda Donohoe, which were pretty crazy. I mean, if you want, it's on YouTube. The Lair of the White Worm, Amanda Donohoe. I mean, it's hilarious. You've got Peter Capaldi. He's about 25. You've got Hugh Grant taking on these like snake vampire people. And well, there's a lot of sexual references, but in a very comical, cheesy way. And Amanda Donohoe looks marvelous. She's like this snake vampire priestess. It's on YouTube. The Lair of the White Worm. Written by Bram Stoker, actually, so it is a classic. He wrote it before he died. Your best scene in Megaforce, Only When the Good Guys Wins in the 80s. I'm reviewing that this week. I've got it on Blu-ray, yeah. Only When the Good Guys Win in the 80s. I love that scene. You know when he knocks on the tank and he sticks his head out and he puts a cigar in his mouth. Brilliant. You know, Barry Foster's awesome in that. Barry Bos, is it Barry Bostwick? It's such a bad. I saw that at cinema. I love Megaforce. It is so fucking bad. It's sheer genius. It's brilliant. Do you know there was a toy line for that and a computer game, but it never took off. Megaforce actually had a big budget. And I know you're not going to believe this, but they actually spent quite a lot of money on it. I'm being serious. You know, it wasn't a cheap movie. It was quite expensive. I don't know where money went really, but I mean, it's just cheesy and you know, smoke a couple of spliffs, eat a kebab, have a few beers, put Megaforce, get some buds round, and I'll tell you, you'll be. It's the perfect night in it to have a good laugh on, in it, Megaforce. It's sheer cheesiness, you know. And when he's flying on that motorbike, and you know, really, when that plane took off, he would have crashed into that. Do you know what I mean? He was flying on that motorbike 200 mile an hour. He would have shot into that like a missile. But it's Megaforce, you know. Jen, it's strange they didn't make Gremlins 3. No, I've heard they were going to do another Gremlins, but I think it's a bit late now. I like Gremlins too. I like Gremlins too. I'm a bit wary of this new Ghostbusters. I'm quite wary, you know, of the new Ghostbusters. It's sort of like I'm on the fence about that. You know, I did. The trailer was interesting, but I would have liked to have. I thought they may have put the original cast in the trailer. I'm hoping it's not about Ghostbuster kids. You know, because if it is, I'm not going to be happy about again, they've gone and fucked it up. But well, we're not going to know how until it comes out. So I've got to sit again. I've got to sit on the fence about that. Right then, guys, I've done one whole hour. I'm going to go because I've got to make a phone call. And I will. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, no, I've got a couple of minutes left. I do an hour. Yeah, I've got a Skype call to make. So, well, I've got one coming in actually. So I have to be in for that. But next week I will be doing a 2-hour show next Sunday, which I look forward to. I will plan to sort of jump on. If you've got any ideas for next week's show, let me know. It's strange they didn't make Glenbury Street. Jen, have you seen the Dirt Bike Kid? Yes, years ago. Oh, I remember that, yeah. And Dancing the Cube with Christian Slater as well. Yeah, saw that as well. Just some guy, the new Ghostbusters, they have to bring Harold Ramis back as a ghost. The female version was taught. Well, yeah, it was all right. Yeah. It was okay. uh, I did go to cinema to see it, but it just didn't work, did it? I mean, it was all right, but it was funny, but I can see why it flopped. God, that takes me back, Jane, with Nicole Kidman. Yeah, good God, yeah. Why I'm feeling why I have a bad feeling about the new Ghostbusters. Yep, I do. I'm being serious. I do. I just got a feeling that they're touching on, how do you say it? The nostalgia when we saw the XO1 and all that. And they find it. I like the connection to Shandor, who built the building in the first one, which is sort of quite interesting. But I just got a feeling it's going to be about the kids. And I really don't want that. I think Paul Rudd being in it, I think that could work. Because he's quite comical. And I could see him fitting in with them. But, well, I'll have to sit on the fence till it comes out. I don't think we're getting it till next year now. I think everything this year we were going to say has been cancelled. No Black Widow, no Eternals. God, which is a bit disappointing. Right then, guys, I'm going to call it an evening. I've got to make a call. So I will see you all next Sunday. Have a great evening and stay safe, guys. And I will see you next week at 6 o'clock. I will be on for 2 hours next week. I might try and get on through the week. If I do, I'll stick some up. I mean, it's not as if I've got anywhere to go, is it? There's no soirees and parties this week, So, I've got my day out at Sainsbury's. That should be exciting. All right, next week. Bye, Jane. Bye. All right, hello, Platinum Games and Movies. I'm going. So I've got a call coming in on Skype at 7:30. But I will be on for 2 hours next week, Platinum. Sorry about this. I'm jumping out. But I will be on at 6 o'clock. I will stick an advert up through the week. I think it's probably best. Mate, I will be on at 6 o'clock next Sunday for 2 hours. But I might try and do something through the week. So I will stick an advert up, sometimes it just slips my mind, But it's honestly, Bud, stay safe. So I've got a call coming in at 7:30 on Skype, so I've got to be ready for that. So, guys, I will see you all next week. Stay safe, and just look after yourselves, and hopefully I'll see you all next week. All right, guys, take care. Bye. Live long and prosper.